Oh my God. Okay, hopefully third time's a charm. This is the third time I've tried to start this video. For those of you that don't know, I'm still living in a assisted living slash rehabilitation center. And it's raining. The only nice thing about playing at night is you can sleep whenever you want to end the rain, so I never really have to deal with rain. Anyways, so yeah, for those that don't know, I've been living the past several years in a rehabilitation center because I had life-threatening diabetic infection. I didn't realize that I had diabetes. I certainly don't fit the stereotype of people that have diabetes. I thought it would be, don't get me wrong, I'm not skinny, I'm stocky, but I'm certainly not what you would call, morbidly obese. Carrying 40 extra pounds very nicely. Yeah, yeah, but nothing seriously out of control. But yeah, what happened was real quick. This is the the um, the Cliff Notes version. Y'all remember Cliff Notes? I don't know if those are still around, but what happened was I had a very physical job that kept me very active. Uh, I was moving heavy furniture pretty much all day, loading, unloading trucks. So I regularly had to move things, 50, 100, 150 pounds all the time. And, so it kept me very active. But COVID happened. And of course, my job was considered non essential. So I got to stay home while essential, medical people, I don't know what all the essential jobs were, but mine was not essential. So I got to stay home. I was locked down for several months. And in that time, because I always had an appetite, even when I worked very long, very hard hours, um, I ate. I ate a lot too, I've always had a huge appetite. I'm not a small man. But when COVID happened, I went from being extremely active to very inactive. Not very inactive, but huge difference, night and day. You really can't do a whole lot when you're stuck in your house. Um, anyway, so long story short, I had a diabetic infection, and it required multiple surgeries because I ignored the warning signs like a typical man and said, no biggie, I'll get over this. I took some expired antibiotics thinking that would do the trick, antibiotics, the miracle drug. Of course, I know nothing about antibiotics, nothing about medicine, to be quite frank. So I waited too long, and I should have called an ambulance a week before I did. So by the time that I did, I had what they call necrotic tissue in my body, and that just means that some of your tissue is dead and it's inside you. So it continues to. This isn't gonna work. I'm just gonna try to box them in, but yeah, it's not gonna work. Um, it continues to rot, and of course your blood is still pumping through it and everything, and it's making you sick. So I think that's called sepsis, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, he's so annoying. So freaking annoying. Anyways, so long story short, I had most of a dozen surgeries. It seemed like it was a dozen. It was probably just 6 or 7. But I was honestly, I'd have to look it up on the paperwork. I was so out of it. I was on heavy painkillers because they were literally going in and cutting out parts of my tissue, parts of my body to try to save me. And yeah, I was in very serious condition. Um, anyways, so yeah, like I said, long story short, For the longest time, my wounds did not heal, and come to find out later, this is because of the poor nutrition I was getting. Um, I was receiving about, on average, 10 grams of protein a day. Sometimes it was none. Sometimes it was maybe 20. I think 25 was the highest I recorded. But for an idea of how low that is, a normal human adult male, I don't know why I said human, but a normal adult male requires about 70 grams of protein, and that's a healthy adult male. Now, when you're trying to recover from wounds and your body's got to heal, it's got to replace that tissue and skin and blood. You need obviously more protein. I finally, after about a dozen attempts here, asking to speak to the registered dietitian, because in the state it's required by law that institutes like this have a registered dietitian on staff. I finally, after a dozen requests and getting the head of the kitchen, I finally got to speak to the registered dietitian. And she said that I should really be getting about 90 to 100 grams of protein if I wanted to heal, because I had, again, multiple surgeries, multiple wounds, and that just was not going to heal with 10 grams of protein a day. To give you an idea of how little protein that is, that's like no meat and 2 slices of cheese. And that's it. No beans, no meat, no eggs, no fish, no chicken. Just 2 slices of cheese and some vegetables and a lot of carbs. And carbs, as you know, as probably everybody knows, become sugar in your bloodstream. And that's something a diabetic should not have. It's sugar and carbs, that made me sick in the first place. So the hospital and this rehabilitation center feeding me more sugar and carbs is not going to make me healthy. That's what made me sick in the first place. So, like I was saying, I've been here for several years. So the reason why I'm telling you all this is because I was trying to start this video and get an hour or two in, and the first 2 times my roommate, who's probably no more than 15 feet away from me in the next room with paper thin walls, is yelling, "Nurse, nurse, god damn it, you're worthless, you're so worthless." And he's just a miserable old fart that just yells at people all the time, and just not a good human being. But so I just before I hit play, I said, I went over to him, I said, "Hey buddy," I said, "can you stop yelling for about an hour or so?" I said, "I'll go get you a nurse or somebody to help you. But my microphone is picking up your yelling and moaning, and I can't have that." So I guess he agreed. He's very kind of, there's nothing wrong with him mentally. He's just very socially awkward. And and the guy is like literally, you know what a call button is, I'm sure. He's literally on his call button all the time. The span of like 30 minutes, he's had 3 separate fits of yelling and calling out for the nurse and whatnot. So, and it, in particular, it makes me very angry because I spent 2 years on my back, unable to walk because my wounds refused to heal. They didn't even oh my God, get off me. You know what? That's what I got you for, big guy. Take care of this. Yeah, so I spent 2 years on my back. Maybe even more than that. I haven't looked up the exact amount, but my wounds just refused to heal. They stayed raw and bloody for 2 entire years, I thought they were never going to heal. And it turns out I just needed protein. I kept saying to the staff here over and over and over again, why aren't my wounds healing? Why aren't my wounds healing? And they would all tell me the same thing. They would say, well, you're diabetic. Your wounds are going to heal slowly. And I'm like, they're not healing at all, though. It's not a matter of healing slowly. They're just not healing at all. So, and they literally weren't. I was taking photographs of them week after week. And, you know, when you're in that kind of condition, you think you see progress, but then, looking back on them months later, there was no progress. It was just imagined, Um, one wound in particular, the one on my inner thigh, um, your leg is going to shrink and grow thicker depending on how much water you're retaining and how much food you've been eating, and especially when you're taking pictures over weeks, your weight's going to fluctuate up and down. And yeah, I thought I saw progress in there. There really wasn't. So anyway, that's a whole nother topic. Just suffice to say that's I'm waiting on my housing situation to be improved. I finally got on the waiting list this past September, about mid-September, after asking them for about a year to transition me to a private residence, because I'm not 100%. I'm probably never going to be 100%. I don't have some feeling in my left foot that makes me walk kind of awkward, and I have high blood pressure no matter how little salt I eat or how unstressed I am. So some things just stay broken. I can cut out all the carbs and eat better, and that certainly is better. It's made a huge difference. My blood pressure used to be like 200 over 110, which is extremely high. They don't even record the numbers here if they're higher than 180, because technically they're supposed to rush me to the hospital. But I had a lot of scores where I was 200, 220, and I could literally feel my heartbeat. Like, I didn't have to listen to it. It was just in my ears going, and it's scary. It's hard to sleep when you can literally feel your skin expand and shrink with each heartbeat. But anyways, yeah. So if you read the thumbnail, all of that was just to explain why I'm living where I am, and hopefully, God, what has it been since September? October, November, December, January, February. So it's already been 5 months. Hopefully, another month or two, and something will open up. So, because I don't even know what I'm capable of yet. The diets at this place never got any better, and I'm not allowed to prepare my own food. I'm not allowed to cook anything in my room. So, I'm kind of living on celery, Greek yogurt, and some air popped popcorn. That's pretty much my meal day after day. Meals, I should say. But it is helping me lose weight. It's just not very delicious. So it's not bad. It's just it's too repetitive. I don't mind eating healthy at all, but I need some variety. If I'm going to be eating healthy, I would love to be eating some eggs. Eggs are literally what healed me. I finally had one of the cooks took pity on me and asked me, what I wanted, and the diet that I researched, and because I'm vegetarian and diabetic, so as much as I loved beans, that's one of the things that put me in this position. It was mostly the rice. I ate beans and rice pretty much every day, but so I'm not gonna blame the beans too much when half the food was rice. But yeah. So what was I saying? Oh my God. Yeah. So the diet that I came up with, it's not real important, but eggs, cheese, and tofu are pretty much the way to go if you want vegetarian protein without the carbs. Beans are delicious, but they're very high in carbs. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's still better than eating like sugar cookies and chocolate. But the less carbs, the better. Honestly, when you're diabetic, I don't take insulin. I want to control this with my diet. Can't stand needles, so this is quite literally between the needles, the constant blood samples they needed, and ripping wounds off my body, ripping scabs, I should say, off my body. For years has been a nightmare. So uh, I'm so terrified of something like this happening again. I really don't think I'll call for help. You know, I this has been such a horrible, nightmarish experience. Uh, my family will just have to understand. I'm not calling for help, a doctor again. I'm grateful to be alive, but oh my God, if I had to go through this again, I wouldn't. It's plain and simple. So I'm checking out these houses. Oh, there you go. There's a dude. What are you, stuck? Man, I'm so lucky a zombie didn't go in there and get him. Walls are open, doors open. I did not know he was stuck. Alright, yeah, so I'm checking out all these houses, looking for stray villagers, make sure I got them all. Okay, so listen about the thumbnail of the title. I know I'm kind of late to the party here. This is big news about a month ago, 2 months ago, but the whole Greenland, Canada, Panama Canal thing. For those that don't know, he's joking about making Canada a state. He says he's serious. They've asked him. Ooh, that was close. They've asked him many times if he really means it, and he doesn't. I mean, Trump may be crazy. Well, he certainly is crazy. Man, the lag is god awful. I don't know why it's so bad. Well, I do know why it's so bad. They don't know how to restart a modem around here. Yeah, you got a building full of doctors with 8-year degrees and whatnot. They don't know how to restart a modem, so yeah, or a computer for that matter. It's wild. That's the first thing I do when I have problems with my computer is I restart it. very first thing. So anyways, yeah, so for those that don't know, he's serious about Panama, he's serious about Greenland, and he's joking about Canada. I mean, think about it. Canada's got a population of like 30 million, 35 million, somewhere there. And it's very, very liberal. Okay. Canadians are very, well, I don't know if progressive is the right word, but they're very liberal. If they were going to be the 51st state, it would be a massive 30 million population blue state. Republicans would never have a chance of winning, the House again, because with that population comes a ton of representatives, and even now it's very evenly split between Democrats and Republicans. So he is joking. He's trolling Trudeau. He's not at all serious about making Canada a 51st state. Trump is a troll, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. He just does not give a fuck, to be perfectly frank. Um, I like to think I'm a little more sane than President Trump, but I'll say I'm from his generation. I'm not, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't give two shits about a lot of people's opinions. If you're a friend, if you're a family, of course I care. There's people in this world I would take a bullet for without even thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you're a total stranger, especially if you're just some rando on the internet. I just do not care. Why would I care? I don't know you. You don't know me. Um, that was dumb, wasn't it? But yeah, that's so. What he's doing is he's trolling. He's trolling Trudeau because Trudeau is Canada may be liberal, but Trudeau is very progressive. Um, and the difference being a old school liberal, a traditional liberal, is somebody like Bill Maher. Okay, and I don't agree with Bill Maher, obviously, on a lot of things, but I respect Bill Maher because when Bill Maher, when he sees something he knows to be true, even if it goes against his preferred party, he still admits that it's true. He doesn't try to deny it. Whereas progressives are, I don't know, I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I love all of you, whether you're progressive, conservative, independent like me. It doesn't make any difference. All of our voices are important, and I would, you know, whether you're extremely liberal or not, or extremely conservative, I would fight to defend your voice. I don't want anybody silenced. I don't want anybody canceled. I think that the greatest thing about this country is the diversity of our opinions. Not necessarily our skin colors or our genders or anything like that. I could give a flip about that. But yeah, I love the fact that we have all these different voices, all these different opinions. It's what makes us strong. And because let's be honest, you don't learn things from people that you agree with. You learn things, well, most times I find from people that you disagree with. So, anyways, but getting back to the topic, uh, and then there's the Gulf of America fiasco. For those that don't know, the Gulf of America, Google has renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, but they cleverly only did it for American audiences. So if you live in the United States, right, I should say the United States, not America. That pisses off people in Latin America and South America. No offense intended, but yeah, if you live in the United States of America, you're going to go on Google and you're going to see that the Gulf of Mexico is now called the Gulf of America. And if you live in Mexico, then the Gulf of Mexico is still called the Gulf of Mexico. And from what I understand, people that live outside the United States and Mexico see both. Trade lanes and shipping lanes and whatnot, they see both. So, not a good long-term solution, but for now, it'll do. You would think it would make both sides happy. I certainly don't care if Mexico still sees the Gulf of Mexico, but apparently the Mexican president, she does care, and she is threatening to sue Google now because Americans are seeing the Gulf of America. And I think this is, honestly, I had nothing against this woman, but I think this is rather absurd. I'm not going to lie. Um, the United States is a global superpower, and Mexico is practically a third world country. It's not quite there. I understand that. I know that's probably gonna piss a lot of people off, but you know, you've got rampant drug cartels, you've got sex trafficking, you've got uh, you name it, you've got it in Mexico. They the crime is so organized and so terrifying that there's several border cities along the U.S. border on our side, on the United States side, that you just don't go to. Let's see if I can kill this witch. Hold on. I'm gonna rush in there. Get him before he poisons me. Or her. I guess witches are she's. I don't know. I got him. I'm getting shot. I need to get out of here. Yay, I got redstone dust. What I'm gonna use it for, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, she's insisting that Google not call it the Gulf of America for America. And that's just, she's really picking a fight she cannot win. I don't know what she's thinking. I know she's extremely liberal, and she despises Trump, and so this is like her sticking it to Trump in her mind. But a good leader has to do what's right for their people, you know? For all Trump's flaws, he is trying to help America. That's why he's making some of these wacky deals and picking some of these fights, because it works. Because you can leverage the strength of America against other countries, and you know, as long as it doesn't lead to war, I'm all for it. Every country in the world negotiates like this. If they have the upper hand, they make the rules. Only America, or only a few Western countries lately, have tried to make nice and be nice, and that's just not the way the world works, you know? We don't have to be bullies, but you know, our leaders should be getting the best deal possible for the people that put them in power, the people that elected them, the people whose taxes pay their salaries. So, you know, it's like this Doge nonsense, man. Everyone's like furious at Elon Musk. It's like, okay, I'm not crazy about the guy exactly either. He's very awkward and strange at times, but come on. Like, are you looking at what they're finding? It's, you know, no wonder we're 30 something, 38 trillion in debt. It's ridiculous. One second. Oh, wonderful. I go to take a drink and that happens. I explode. Excuse me. Anyway, so, okay. So, yeah, I don't understand why the Gulf of Mexico was called the Gulf of Mexico in the first place. I guess because Mexico predates really the United States. There was a point where Mexico was the power in the area, in the region. But, you know, those days have long since passed, so people aren't you know, shipping vessels aren't entering the Gulf of Mexico for Mexico. You know, they're coming to Louisiana, Mississippi, Tampa. You know, all these ports for American ports. You know, they're not there for Mexico. Let's be realistic. You know, I'm not saying Mexico is a major trading partner. I understand that, but I mean, come on, man. Let's just be realistic. You know, the United States is the powerhouse in this, the financial powerhouse in this picture. It's not Mexico. So, yeah. So she's really picking a fight that she just can't win, and you hate to see it, because you know I've got nothing but goodwill for the Mexican people. I don't want any harm to come to them, and she's really, you know, Trump loves to fight. He loves to argue. So she's not going to bully him into submission. That's not how you deal with somebody like him. You want to know how to deal with Trump, you know, look at France. Look at what's his name, Macron. You know what I'm saying? He just wants you to be nice to him. If you're nice to him, he'll bend over backwards for you. This is a man who values loyalty and friendship more than anything. People that are loyal, you know, he's got their back. I mean, he said he was going to pardon all the January 6th protesters, and what did he do? He pardoned all the January 6th protesters. He said he was going to, declassify the JFK files, you know, Kennedy assassination, RFK assassination. And what did he do? He did exactly what he said. So, love him or hate him, I do respect that he's one of the only politicians that I'm just looking for some more villagers, making sure I got them all. I think officially I do have them all. Yeah, so, you know, love him or hate him, at least the guy does what he says. Now, as far as uh, uh, the whole Greenland, Panama Canal. Let me just cover Panama Canal real quick, okay? Because people are acting like Trump is uh, like Hitler. He gets this Hitler comparison all the time. Oh, he's threatening to take back Panama, blah blah blah. Why we gave Panama away is beyond me. But for those that don't know, Panama, the agreement we made with Panama was that they were to be basically a neutral, uh, not trading partner, but a neutral partner in the operation of the Panama Canal. They would get to keep all the revenues. We built the thing, we financed it, and a lot of Americans, along with Middle Americans, Southern Americans, South Americans, died. And the thousands of men died in the construction of this canal. Like Trump says, it is like one of the modern wonders of the world. We literally dug a trench, and not just a trench, but a trench that raises and lowers sea level all the way across the country. It's insane. Um, Anyways, but yeah, we built that. Panama didn't build that. We built that. In fact, the reason Panama even exists is because of the United States' interest in a canal. So Jimmy Carter, one of the stupidest things he ever did was just give the thing away. And it didn't, I understand the sentiment. And this is why I don't get mad at liberals, even though I don't really consider myself liberal, I do have some liberal tendencies. Like I said, I'm independent. I'm both. Some things I'm conservative, some things I'm very liberal on. Like gay marriage, I had no problem with, two women, two men getting married. That's absurd. If a church wants to marry two men or two women, that has nothing to do with the government, nothing at all. So, um, you know, they, like a lot of people joke, they have every right to be as miserable as straight married couples. So, um, but yeah, a lot of Republicans, a lot of so-called conservatives were very much against that, and even libertarians. And I'm like, why? That makes no sense. You're honestly letting your fear, and maybe it's, well, not maybe, a lot of it was religious. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious, so I don't look to the Bible for guidance. Maybe I should. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just, you know, I think, and this is probably gonna offend some of you, but I think the Bible, some of it's good and some of it's bad. Some of it was written by good men, and some of it was written by bad men. So, and some of the good stuff was translated by bad men. So, or at least selfish men. Let's put it that way. And people who want it to mean something they prefer. There we go. Finally, it took long enough. I think there's like a 40-second cooldown or something on these big guys. Oh, and then you get two. Okay, so anyways, so he was joking about Canada, he's serious about Panama, and he's serious about Greenland. We're going to get to Greenland in just a second. Panama, very serious about that. The treaty that Carter started, Jimmy Carter put this in action, and Bill Clinton made it official in, I want to say, 1999. So he followed through with it. Basically, Jimmy Carter started the clock, and Bill Clinton finished it. Finished giving it over, so just giving it away. It's crazy. NASA does the same thing. It pisses me off. Like, we spend billions of dollars acquiring information, and we just give it away. It's like, why? Why are you doing this? The world is not paying your agency. Americans are. Like, don't get me wrong. If they discovered aliens and aliens wanted to talk to everybody on Earth, I would have no problem with everybody on Earth getting to talk to the aliens. That's not something America should keep to itself. But when you spend billions of dollars on R&D, research and development, the fruits of that money, you don't just give it away. You could at least trade with other countries that have their own secrets, that have made their own breakthroughs in, say, fusion technology, or superconductors, what have you, you use that knowledge as leverage. Knowledge is power, and to just give it away is the height of stupidity, regardless of what political party's doing it. So yeah, Carter just giving Panama away was just incredibly stupid, because that was a nice little revenue source. You know what I'm saying? That was a very nice revenue source. So, what's going on with Panama for people that don't know, and I don't know this for a fact, but Trump is claiming that, and others as well, that Panama is giving preferential treatment to China, and that was never part of the deal. Like, we were not supposed to play second fiddle to anybody when it comes to, basically, the United States was, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit here, just to simplify. But the United States, the essence of the treaty was like, okay, you can have control of the canal, and you can operate it, but we pretty much get free passage. And if not free, we get the best rates. So what has happened, though, and a lot of people don't understand this part, because unfortunately the media really has it out for Trump. Which I don't mind. Like I said, I'm independent, so it doesn't keep me up at night like it does a Republican. But at the same time, like, they really should be as impartial as possible. I have no problem with them investigating and doing their due diligence on Trump, but my God, just do both parties that way. Treat them equally. Don't become journalists suddenly when there's a Republican in the White House, and then run cover for, Biden and Harris or whoever else is possibly running. So, excuse me. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know this, but a Chinese company based out of Hong Kong. Because remember, China owns Hong Kong, right? The British gave Hong Kong to China. I guess in the same spirit of generosity. But yeah, so Hong Kong was turned over to China, and a Chinese company based out of Hong Kong, so it looks better, is controlling basically operations on both ends of the canal. So, whichever way you're coming from, the Pacific or the Atlantic, you've got to deal with this Chinese company, and they're not very forthcoming with their records. So, and again, at first, the leader of Panama was like, oh, we're not going to bow to the U.S. oppression, blah, 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 because he knew it would play well on the world stage. And, when Trump started flexing, all of a sudden he's like, oh, no, you can use my personal plane, and, his version of Air Force One. Yeah, Oh, no, 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 I'm confusing that. That was, what was that? Venezuela? Some country. No, 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 I'm sorry. It was, I think it was Brazil. Some country in South America, it might have been, I think it was Brazil, refused to take back their illegal migrants that are criminals, that came here with it. And I don't mean criminals that they invaded our country or immigrated here legally. They were already criminals before they came here. That was just their most recent crime, was breaking our immigration laws. A lot of people don't realize this, but like literally thousands of murderers, rapists, pedophiles were released not by Biden himself, but the Biden administration into the United States. Remember when Trump said they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats? That was in response to illegal migrants being shipped to Springfield, Ohio. That I think the reason why he made that absurd statement was just to draw attention to the fact that that's been government policy, is to ship, and it's really kind of dirty that the Democrats are doing that they're shipping people that are, if they don't ever vote blue, their children certainly are most likely will. They're shipping those people to red and battleground states. It's just like, what? Really? That's not a coincidence. Ohio? Because remember, Ohio used to be called the bellwether state. And, as Ohio went, the country used to go. Well, Ohio has become very red, as a lot of states have in the past several years. So, that's really, they're not even trying to hide it. That's really underhanded that Democrats are doing that. That they're literally shipping illegals to red and purple states, trying to flip them. Oh, I'm kind of getting off subject though, but swag. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so Greenland should be pretty obvious why we want that. Greenland is like 95% untouched because about 90% of the country is covered in, I should say territory, it's not technically a country. 90% of the territory is covered in snow and ice, glaciers. And so if there's oil to be had, and there certainly is, that's going to be a huge asset to have in the future. And just from an economic standpoint, you're I can't place torches on. Well, I'll just let that go back to regular dirt. But yeah, even oil aside, though, you're still looking at the creation of a new state. That's, oh my God, sorry, I don't mean to belch on camera. Pepsi always does that to me, though. Yeah, you're looking at the creation of a new state. Let's just say, hypothetically, Trump is able to offer the people of Greenland, the 60,000 people or so that live there. It's not quite 60,000. He's like 57,000. But say he comes there with a big sack of cash and just plops it down. He's like, I'm gonna make every one of y'all a millionaire, right? So he shells out $1 million per head to the people of Greenland to basically buy their cooperation. Totally possible, right? If the people of Greenland say, hey, we want to belong to the United States of America, we want to be our own state, there's nothing besides Denmark preventing that. Oh, and real quick, this is funny. I saw this this morning when I was looking at the news. Denmark apparently, and this is kind of hilarious. Denmark, because I guess they feel insulted by the way the United States is treating them. Denmark is offering to buy California, which is hilarious because so supposedly they're offering was it 40 billion or something to offer to buy California. And why that's so absurd is the GDP of the GDP of Denmark and California are not remotely close. California's GDP is 10 times what Denmark's is. So it's not even remotely possible for them to buy California. I mean, obviously, California handles 10 times the money that they do. I want to say California's GDP is like 4 trillion, and Denmark's GDP is only 400 billion. So yeah, that's not happening, and it's kind of delusional. Like, it's not even, they're trying to insult America, but really they're just kind of making themselves look rather stupid. And uh, and nothing against the people of Denmark, but their government's being really asinine because, you know, we did liberate Greenland. A lot of people don't know this, but the Nazis, they took over Greenland. That's one of the reasons why the U.S. has a small air base there to this day. Is our I think it was our Coast Guard actually. It didn't take much. The Nazis weren't occupying it in any great numbers, but it didn't take much. But we liberated Greenland from the Nazis, and so yeah, so Denmark has done nothing. I mean, nothing with Greenland. They haven't developed it. Their 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 economic policy has been basically to just sit on it and do nothing, and worse than nothing, because they actually are holding back the people of Greenland. There's some people in Greenland, maybe not many, but they are, believe it or not, there are pro-Trump people in Greenland. They recognize that, Trump's in a position to offer them a lot of money, and more than that, think about all the businesses. Think about the McDonald's that would open up. They'd have a market, a brand new market of 60,000 new potential customers, and growing too, because a lot of people are going to move there. The land is going to be dirt cheap, especially if it's covered in snow and ice. Um, but yeah, and I'm not gonna say it's not cold. Of course it's cold, but yeah, it's not. It's probably not as cold as it could be, considering the Gulf Stream kind of heads up that way. But I don't know. I'm just speculating there. Um, Myself in a pickle. How am I gonna get out of this? Come on. Sorry, give me just a second. There we go. Anyways, so yeah, obviously Trump wants Greenland, and he's not the first president to do so. Greenland is actually part of North America. It's part of our continent. So when I say our, I mean Mexico and Canada as well. Um, why Denmark has it is beyond me. Denmark has really no business um, owning that territory. And the people of Greenland, they may not want to join the United States, but they certainly don't want to be part of Denmark. They had a poll. I want to say it was 2021, that they had a poll, and they asked people, just people in Greenmark, you know, do you want to remain remain a Denmark territory, or do you want independence? And like 2/3 of people, it wasn't even close, 2/3, 2 out of 3, said that they wanted independence. So the desire to get away from Denmark is there. I really think Trump and the Republicans, because let's be honest, the Democrats are completely against this. Trump and the Republicans, they got to offer, you know, uh, something really nice, something to sway the people of Greenland. So, because let's be honest, that's honestly what they're holding out for. Smart negotiators. You never make it known. Oh yeah, we want to be a state. Of course you're going to say no. You're not interested, because that's how you get more better offers. So, oh, anyways, so yeah, just to recap, he's serious about taking back the Panama Canal. He's joking about Canada. We don't want a gigantic new blue state, and he's serious about Greenland. Obviously, Greenland would be a huge, huge win. And honestly, it really infuriates me that any Democrats are against it. I get that, that's your team, those are your boys, girls, whatever, so to speak. But it's just like, what an opportunity to have Greenland as a state. It is a massive, massive landmass. It's the largest island in the world because technically Australia is a continent. So, um, and it's being controlled by Denmark, hindered by Denmark, I should say. I say Denmark is actually holding Greenland back with their terrible, terrible economy. So, oh, when I say terrible, I just mean it's like a socialist economy. And of course, that makes people happy, but it makes them fat and lazy too. They don't produce anything. They just vacation all the time. So, oh, sorry to anybody listening in Denmark. It's not personal. It's just your country. So, you'd think Denmark would be like, oh, sure, well, this rightfully belongs to North America anyway, Maybe we could have one of your territories, we could work some kind of trade out, Give them Puerto Rico. Give them Puerto Rico. So, oh, that's another thing people don't understand is Denmark is subsidizing Greenland too. So, not only do they hold Greenland back economically, but the citizens of Denmark have to subsidize Greenland because, like I said, they're holding it back. They could be tapping into all that oil. They could modernize their fishing fleets. There's a whole bunch of things they could do. They could sell real estate in Greenland and make a fortune. What is your problem, dude? Do you not hear the skeleton? Go. There you go. Ah, that's wild. He had to shoot him before he did anything. I kind of pushed him into him too. All right. Let's see. What else? Yeah. The Mexican president is really pissing me off. It's just like I get that honestly it reminds me of Zelensky, right? Zelensky seems to be totally willing to bring harm to his people just to look like a tough guy, to look like he's fighting Trump. It's like you had a chance. You had a chance to be getting Trump's good graces, and you kind of blew it. He should have realized when Trump won that the free lunch was over. We've given them literally hundreds of billions in money and weaponry and food supplies, and they still couldn't beat Russia. And they were never, let's be honest, they were never going to beat Russia. You're talking about a massive, if Hitler couldn't beat Russia with all the forces at his disposal, what makes you think Zelensky could? Zelensky is not a world leader. He's a washed up freaking wannabe celebrity. And honestly, I think that's why Hollywood loved him so much. But he's not a good leader. He's not making decisions that are good for his people. I know it's going to piss a lot of people off. And frankly, I don't give a shit, But it's the truth. Is Putin a terrible man? Of course. Is Putin dangerous? Of course. Okay. Why does everything look so weird? Huh. It's like chunks missing out of the world. I can see the sun. That shouldn't be possible. I've got the render distance turned up to 32 chunks. We are not 32 chunks away from the ground. I'm sorry, y'all. I was hoping to get a better view of everything from up here, but this is like moth-eaten. It looks horrible. I have no idea what's going on. I've got a sweet graphics card. I've got 64 gigs of RAM. This should not be an issue. I do not know enough about Minecraft settings, so I'm gonna, when I'm not recording, I'm gonna look into this and see what I can do to make the view better. Because this is ridiculous. Can't see anything. I mean, the clouds are rendering in, but yeah, that's wild. I can't even see the river that's right next to my village. That's crazy. I'm gonna look into some mods that don't change the game. Just oh yeah. That's got to be pumpkins. Did y'all see that? Those little orange specks. Oh shit! Fuck! Ah, damn. Ah. See what I mean? I could not do a hardcore series. I gotta get good. Oh Lord. Alright. Let's go ahead and dig that out so our water doesn't go everywhere. Okay, there we go. Oh, I've got to pee so bad too right now. Yeah, one of the mods I want to get, there's a mod that basically makes your armor invisible. I want that because she looks so cute. I don't want to see the stupid Minecraft armor. I just want to see my skin. So if there's I'm pretty sure there's a mod that makes your armor invisible, or at least reduces its footprint, you know. If there's a mod that does that, I'm pretty sure there is. I just want to get that. Yeah, so we saw some lava. Let me get some water and just get a second bucket. I'm gonna get me that bucket of lava that I want that lava. Lava is a fantastic killing tool. It's just useful. It's just useful to have. Alright. Ah, shit. Sorry. I need to stop cursing so much. I apologize. An hour yet? It didn't look like it was too far. Should be able to see it pretty easy from the glow. Lava. Oh snap! See, I'll stop myself. I can clean it up. There we go. Looky what we got over here. That's so close too. That's so nice. It's literally, oh man. Hey. Oh, that's fantastic. Love me some hay. Pump this all up. Yeah, so that's going to have to pretty much do it for this episode, hour 2. I really apologize, guys. I thought I would get a whole lot more done than I did. But I appreciate you watching. I promise the next episode will be more adventurous. So, thanks for watching. Please leave me a like if you can, and take care of yourselves. Thank you.